What up, what up, what up? Welcome to the Live Game Season 1, Episode 24, the final episode of the season. I am your co-host, Marcus. Joining me on the panel tonight is Brian. Say what up, Brian.
What up?
Herman.
Hey, hey, hey.
And Mark.
Hi.
Before we get started, I want to encourage you to go on over to sportsintel.net for some great commentary and opinion on everything sports related. Once again, that's sportsintel.net. I also want to encourage you to like, share, and subscribe. Like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. Hit that bell icon so you get notified whenever we go live. What's the Twitter handle, Brian?
At the Live Game 3.
At the Live Game 3. Come check us out on Twitter. So, like I said, this last episode of the season, we just had a Super Bowl. I personally thought it was a great game. A lot of people call it the most boring Super Bowl ever, but I disagree. I feel even if you're a Patriots hater, the game was close the whole time. You should have been, in your seat, at the edge of your seat, waiting for them to lose the game. So, I thought it was a good game, either way. So, what do you guys think?
Yeah, like Marcus said, the 2018 season is in the books. I thought it was a good game too. I definitely agree with you. I think a lot of people don't respect defense in the NFL anymore. And when you look at what the Patriots did, as much as I didn't want to see them win, for them to pretty much basically shut down that high-powered offense, it goes back to the old saying: "Is defense wins championships."
That is true.
That's what they did. It was a good game. It wasn't the high scoring like you always want to see, but if you look at the defensive side of it, even the Rams defense, they held the Patriots to 13 points.
Yeah, 3 till like the third quarter.
Yeah,
And Brady won the Super Bowl without scoring one touchdown.
Yeah, and threw a pick.
Mm-hmm.
So it was defensively. If you're a defensive person, you love that. You love that game.
I mean, let's be honest. The real Super Bowl was back when the Rams played the Chiefs anyway. That was the real Super Bowl.
And that's what everybody thought they were going to see.
But the difference with this one is that, I guess like in hindsight, thinking back, okay, maybe it wasn't the greatest game played and all, but I was engaged thoroughly the whole game. I mean, it was a one-score game. You never knew what was going to happen. You were kind of sitting there anticipating, okay, the Rams is going to get this going sooner or later. They're going to get in the end zone. What are the Patriots going to do after that? The Patriots were moving the ball for the most part the first half, a little bit in the second half. But the both, like Herman said, both of those defenses were doing their thing when it came to stopping them from getting into the end zone, missing field goals. I mean, Gostkowski missed one. Mm-hmm. Greg the Leg missed one.
He missed two.
It was a desperate one. He missed two.
Was it one or two? I thought he missed two.
I thought he just missed the one.
He just missed the one?
He made one from like 46 or something like yards.
Oh, yeah.
But the one, and it was one was in his range, but he ended up missing it. But I mean, that was like a desperation one to get that, to hope to get the onside kick, to hope to get in the end zone. So I ain't really faulting him on this one, but I was entertained.
I have to agree with you all too. I was fully into it too. I mean, it was really literally like a good chess match. You had basically one of the high best going or fast paced offenses, and with the defensive mind of Belichick. I was intrigued by it. I really was. And like you said, a lot of people don't like the old fashioned way, but this was an old fashioned defensive game, and I much enjoyed it too.
Yeah, so let's go ahead and get into the picks of the game. We'll talk a little bit more about it. I'll go first since I wrong wolfed this one. Yeah, I mean, I picked the Rams. If somebody told me that the Rams was going to score 3 points in the Super Bowl, I'd have said you're out of your mind.
I would bet money on that.
I would.
I would put a prop bet that they would score more than 3 points.
Yeah. So it was interesting, the lack of use of Todd Gurley. And, that Rams running game, I'm speechless about it, as you can see.
He had 10 carries. That's all, 10 carries for 35 yards.
Yeah. What's the deal with Todd Gurley? What happened? Okay, he had a big game against Dallas in the divisional round. Most of that came off of one run. Championship game, non-existent.
Not a real factor at all.
And the Super Bowl, not a
factor at all.
Supposedly he was healthy, the 100%. So either the Rams were lying or he was lying and he wasn't healthy.
They didn't do the screen game to him like they normally.
Yeah, exactly. They didn't do anything they did in the regular season.
They threw it to him one time and it was like a -1 yard.
Yeah. And
And then they couldn't get Anderson going. Anderson only got the ball 7 times for 22 yards. He fumbled.
mhm.
I mean, it was just a disappointing offense, to say the least.
Yeah, and Golf, the game looked too big for him at times. He was doing dumb stuff like he's scrambling out of the pocket. He's running over by the sideline. He's like 3 yards. He's going to lose 3 yards, and he runs out of bounds.
Yeah. Or he runs to the sideline and lets himself get popped. real
Yeah,
hard.
I'm screaming, throw the
Before he
ball
goes out
away.
there.
Like, what are you doing? I didn't understand at all. He really seemed flustered. He looked like the Jared Goff from when
Jeff Fisher.
that's exactly what he looked like.
But he did have a couple flashes of a couple nice third down completions in the game. One to Woods, I think, across the middle. I think it was another one to number 12,
Brandon Cooks.
Brandon Cooks.
But he had a crucial late throw to Cooks that
Yeah.
would have been a touchdown.
Yeah.
When on that play, when Cooks shot up the middle of the seam, he was open almost immediately.
He was super late. They were saying the defender had to run like 18 yards
Right.
to go break that pass up.
That tells you how late he was. I mean, I know we're fast in the NFL, but he was way late on that. So
Because he ran to the back of the end zone. He had nowhere else to run.
yeah, exactly. But yeah, I picked the Rams and got it wrong. Marcus, I know. We'll hold off. Let's go to Brian.
I did pick the Patriots. I learned my lesson when they beat the Chargers. After that, I just rode that bandwagon to the victory. So, nice job, Patriots. You are the top of the echelon.
Mark.
So did I. I took New England. I've learned my lesson also. The New England's defense. I mean, hats goes off to them. Hightower was in Golf's face the whole entire game. He was sacked 4 times, but I mean, he was probably pressured about 11, 12 times. They couldn't stop the blitz that New England was putting on them. I just think Golf. I mean, hit the 2 plays to Brandon Cooks. One of them was the late pass, but the other one was right there. I mean, it was a 50-50 ball. A lot of chances, the receiver catches it with being right there.
He's small.
The defensive back put his hand in there,
Kind
got
of held his arm.
and put it down there. So that was a good defensive play. But both times, those balls, I mean, they were catchable.
It's funny you talk about the Patriots defense with Golf, and they weren't actually sending extra pressure, but Golf didn't know where it was coming from.
Right.
They were sending a lot of times they were
Right.
sending 4, and
Right.
it looked like they was coming with 5 or 6 at times.
Right. They were disguising it real well.
And Golf didn't know where the pressure was coming from. They talked about that almost the whole game. So it was an eye opener for Golf, I think. It was definitely. I mean, it's Bill Belichick. He's going to eat up young quarterbacks. It's what he does.
In New England rushed for 154 yards total. Rams only rushed for 62 yards. I couldn't
Never
understand
seen that coming.
why they wasn't running the ball. I never understood it. But I took New England and they won. They got 6 Super Bowls, tied with the Steelers. So
All right, fanboy, it's all yours.
Well, I mean, there's not much to talk about. I mean, Tom Brady didn't really do much in that game. You know, they won in spite of Tom Brady. He had he had a pick, didn't have any touchdowns. They didn't even get into the red zone until 7 minutes left in the fourth quarter. Neither team.
But those were throws. Those were nice throws by Tom Brady to get him in the red zone.
The one,
I mean, yeah.
one
That throw to Gronk.
Like, go to ground, yeah.
Well, it was like 2 or 3 guys over there when he caught that ball.
I mean, he did what Tom Brady does. You know, he's a clinch guy. You know, but I think you really have to give the credit to the defense, which you know they after last year's debacle, which I'm still not over. They should have showed something. I'm glad they did. If they could have showed that same thing last year against the Eagles, maybe we could have kept the Eagles from getting the championship.
But you know, the difference too is that the Eagles did stuff. They did trick plays.
True.
They moved it up. I don't know what happened to McVay. I mean, I was expecting maybe a fake punt, you know, something extra to do something. But he just kept going down the line, looking at his little playlist and just playing it straight.
He got out coached.
Yeah, he did. He absolutely got out coached. I mean, even when you go back to when the Saints won the Super Bowl against the Colts, you know, they had a trick play in there somewhere, something to change up the momentum. I mean, when you have 8 punts in your first 8 drives, you got to do something different. You got to.
and Rams were doing this pretty much of the season where they would come out with a fake punt.
Yeah.
So I thought for sure we was going to see one in the Super Bowl.
You know, I think they were so scared because their offense wasn't doing anything. They never. I don't think any of their punts ever got them in that right spot where you pull off that fake.
So you think that they were just trying to stay in the game? Because I mean, it was just a field goal game for Georgia.
I think that's what it was, and you didn't. The last thing they wanted to do was flip the momentum to New England.
Yeah,
a lot of their punts came inside their own 40, I think.
So he coached conservative.
He kind of didn't have a choice.
He didn't play to win the game.
You don't run no fake punts against the Patriots on your own 30 or 40-yard line. You're giving them a score.
Well, I also want to talk about what Mark brought up. I mean, they didn't look. Their offense didn't look anything like it was when they were talking about Todd Gurley was the early MVP for the league.
That's the part too we were talking about. I mean, Gurley was the engine to that offense.
Yes.
I mean, if you weren't throwing a screen pass to him, you were throwing it to him out on the flare. He was running the ball down your throat. I mean, he was all over the place.
And they didn't do any of that. They were playing vanilla offense. I mean, it's no surprise that New England's defense did what they did. They didn't switch it up. They didn't try to do anything special. Like I said, no trick plays, nothing. Not even a flea flick or anything. I mean,
yeah, I think they might have did one handoff to a running back on that jet sweep. I think they might have did that once.
I don't know. I mean, it was a lot of factors. Gurley not being in it. Belichick changing his defensive calls after McVay couldn't communicate with Goff anymore. Something they had been doing all year long.
So how is if Belichick doesn't get caught off too with 15?
He gets cut off too, but see, he probably calls 2 plays.
Yeah,
you know,
and a lot of times the Rams are doing play action.
Yeah,
they are. So play action. Goff is turning his back to the defense a lot.
Well, you can't do play action if you're not running the ball. That's only good.
That was my biggest argument right there, Marcus. That was my biggest argument. I could not understand why are you doing play action. And they're not scared of the run at all. They wouldn't look for the run. I never understood that one.
I didn't watch a lot of the Rams games during the season, but did you notice? I noticed during the Super Bowl. I never saw in our game. I never saw Goff audible. You ever see him audible? I don't think
I could call enough.
Yeah, I don't think he
has the power to call audible.
Yeah, I don't think he has the power to audible. Or I wonder, does he have the capability to audible?
Yeah, because like you said, I mean, if the head coach is in your headset for the most part, he's telling you what we're going to run, and he probably just runs.
And that was the issue. I think McVay was telling him, which receiver to hit, so he already has his mind made up when the play starts. Yeah. And so he doesn't change, and so he throws it to the dude that's already covered.
You're right. I mean, you never hear him come to the line. You never hear him like kill or nothing. Never.
You didn't. And you see that out of most quarterbacks.
Yeah,
but he did audible early in the season because it was this big thing about it. They have an audible call called Halle Berry.
Oh yeah, and Halle Berry was
Okay. But he definitely didn't call that in the Super Bowl. He didn't know there was no Halle Berry in the Super Bowl. So and another big thing is I guess that one pass that Brandon Cooks could have caught, that was Jared Goff's fault. But the other one they would have. Later in the game, I think it would have tied him up.
I think would have took the lead.
They would have took the lead.
I think they would have took the lead.
Okay, so I mean, that was all on Brandon Cook. He should have called that.
Well, I mean, the defender got there. It was a good defensive play. What killed him was they ran the exact same play right after.
Yeah.
And that's when Belichick came with 0 blitz. And the corner, he just sat back there,
and waited.
Yeah, waited. I mean, it was that to me that was terrible for McVay to have called that again. I know the Patriots did it 3 times in a row. That was something too.
Yeah,
the Patriots ran the same play 3 times in a row, but they made it look different with a little bit of motion and stuff. And then Brady he hit different receivers.
Yeah, I think he hit Gronk twice. And I think he hit Edelman. The second time. Speaking of which. Was there anybody else playing for the Patriots offense except Edelman and Gronk?
Well, Michelle, he got 94.
Yeah, Michelle. I'm talking about receivers.
Yeah, I mean, they kind of ran the ball. I mean, Burkhead had a good day. He had 43 yards. They did kind of shut down the other running back.
James White?
James White. They did kind of shut him down.
They did.
Yeah, he only had 4 yards.
But where's the adjustment by Wade Phillips, too, on that? Because, all right, I'm
Yeah,
taking out Gronk. He's taking out Gronk pretty good.
Yeah,
But
you let
then
Edelman's tear
Edelman's
you
killing
up.
you at this point. You got to make another adjustment.
yeah.
You know, and say, all right, if you take out Gronk and Edelman, well, who are you worried about then? Forget his name.
What's the name?
Oh, Dorsett.
Well, no,
Or Patterson or
no, the other
Hogan, Chris Hogan.
Chris
that's the
Hogan,
one I was
yeah.
thinking of.
But I'll take my
chances.
Yeah, I take my
especially on
chances.
third downs.
Yeah,
man,
absolutely.
you should be doubling Edelman. I would take
Yeah,
my chances.
oh my God! On third downs, Edelman should never even get off the line of scrimmage.
But they're probably doubling Gronk though. They can't double everybody.
They didn't even really have a corner that could keep up with Edelman on that squad.
Yeah, you have to double Edelman because Gronk can beat you one-on-one. I get you that, but you can put a safety over top of Gronk and still double Edelman and then deal with whatever's left. You know, go to a nickel situation or something like that, or a dime. You can go to a dime. Just put more defensive backs on the field. You know, they don't have big running backs, so you can afford to play like that one linebacker. You know, make them. Hey, if you're gonna beat me for 3rd and 6 on the ground, then I'm gonna give you that one.
But
But
here's
you're not
another,
gonna hit me with Edelman.
but here's another thing. Rams got 2 free agent corners that supposed to be able to keep up with.
Yeah, well, no.
Neither one.
Yeah,
Peters
Talib,
or
yeah.
Elite. Neither one
Can't
can keep up with him.
Yeah, he's just too shifty.
I don't even remember hearing Talib's name the whole game. Did they even?
No,
call
he didn't.
And Aaron Donald too. He kind of disappeared
He did.
He had a little bit of pressure on Brady. He had a little bit of pressure.
a little bit, but you didn't hear his name.
It wasn't
called.
as But I mean, the Rams. I mean, again, 3 points. You know, going into the fourth quarter. You know, I mean, it was just they were on the field entirely too long. The time of possession, the Pats had it for 33 minutes. The Rams had it for 26.
Yeah.
But in the first half, it was a lot lower than that. I think they had a lot lower. It was like 10 minutes.
That was the first time that the Rams, the yardage was too low, and they hadn't scored. They didn't score in the first half. That was like the first time since McVay took over that's happened.
Wow. Yeah, it was it was just a defensive mastermind plan by Belichick.
Yeah, and Belichick now ties George Halas for the most championships with 6.
Wow. Of his own.
Yep.
Wait, no, he has more than that. He has 6 with the Patriots.
Yeah.
He has.
Well, I mean,
some
as a
with the
head
Giants.
coach. As a head coach.
Yeah, he got one with the Giants. Is it just one?
No, two
was the
The
Giants.
Giants.
Two.
He got like 8 rings. Yeah. But
Speaking of rings, congratulations, Josh Gordon.
his ring's not going to be like that. Yeah.
Can you engrave a little symbol or
With an
something?
asterisk.
He gets an honorable mention. What's that participation ring?
But he didn't participate. So I don't.
Well, I mean, he participated in the season, just not when it counted.
So, what y'all think of the officiating for this game? I think they,
I was in
For the most
for the
part.
most part, they were out of it.
Some folks was a little bit not too happy about the first
Oh yeah,
call
I
in
didn't
the
like
game that was a hitting a defensive player. But I think for the most part, I think the officiating was pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah, they were kind of out of sync. They let the wide receivers and the DBs, fight down the field. They did a much better job than they did overall.
Yeah, there were a couple of plays where the wide receiver and D-back were battling. I was like, uh-oh.
Yeah,
I thought they were going to get a flag, but they let it go.
yeah.
Yeah, I think it was probably under 10 penalties in the game, maybe 15, under 15.
It was 12.
Okay, okay.
3 by New England and 9 by the Rams.
And that's the other thing that brought us
Let's talk
to
about that
real quick is that the Rams quarterback Goff. Do you know he got his own penalty? He forgot his own snap count and got a delay game.
Mm-hmm.
He forgot his own snap count.
He forgot his own
Game
snap
looked
count
too big for him.
and got a delay game. He backed out from the center because he forgot to snap.
Prematurely.
and got a delay game.
Oh wow, I must have missed that one.
Yeah, I must have missed that one too.
That's crazy.
Speaking of penalties, can we talk about how salty New Orleans is? I mean, come on. I mean,
Oh my goodness. No, but for real, you got to give it to them. Them fools boycotted watching the Super Bowl and took a chunk out of the ratings numbers.
oh, yeah, it did say it was the lowest Super Bowl rating in years.
And
They refused to show it in any bars down in New Orleans.
They had a protest march.
Yeah, they actually had a
They
march.
sure
that
did.
Was,
Yeah.
that was ridiculous. ridiculous.
I mean, it is a little. I mean, y'all are the saltiest team in the NFL, the pettiest team in the NFL.
They definitely get the petty award.
And that whole narrative, it would have been a better game because if they would have been there, not the last couple, not the way y'all was playing the last couple, not after Dallas,
Right.
not after Dallas did put their voodoo on you. You weren't the same team anymore, so it probably been a scoreless Super Bowl on their side.
No, I think that the Patriots would have torched them.
Yeah.
Right, it probably would have been worse. Yeah, it would have been a slaughter. They had 2 season ticket holders that they went to court over that. They actually went to court. The judge threw it out.
Oh, he did throw it out?
Yeah, the judge he threw it out. They went to court wanting to make the commissioner replay the game.
Right, which is something that was not in his power in the first place.
No,
There's a
actually,
rule about it, but not for. It does not include like officials or bad calls. It would include like a fire or something that's beyond their control. But it specifically said it did not include like if you had like an official or a bad call or something like that.
It did say that?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay, because I thought they were saying it said anything egregious. It was the wording that they came.
Yeah, they specifically put that part in there, so he couldn't have done it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that was.
And I mean, what kind of precedent would that set? Every time you turn around, you
be having replays. You be having replays every week.
Watch the replay on Tuesday night from 8 to 8:15.
All right. Well, I don't think there's any more to really discuss about the Super Bowl.
No, just hats off to the Patriots, man. Y'all did a dynamite job.
Yeah. So let's get into the Hall of Fame was announced, and some of the year-end awards were announced too.
Yeah. Some of the NFL.
MVP. Mahomes won MVP, and I think he won Offensive Player of the Year. Too.
No, he didn't win offensive. Somebody else won Offensive Player of the Year.
He won 2, right? What did he win? What did Mahomes win?
He won MVP, and I
thought he just won MVP.
2. I thought.
No, he didn't win offensive. I know for a fact somebody else won it.
Aaron Donald won Defensive Player of the Year.
And Saquon won
Rookie
of the Year.
So how do y'all feel?
Oh, maybe maybe he did.
I thought he did win Offensive Player of the Year too.
MVP.
MVP Offensive Player of the Year.
Okay, we did win Offensive Player of the Year.
Okay. Yeah, he deserved it because he threw 50-some touchdowns, exactly. 4,500 yards. It's kind of hard to beat that.
Nah, that probably would have been a better Super Bowl with the Chiefs and the Patriots.
Well, they can't play the Super Bowl.
I know, but still, I probably.
We saw that in the AFC. What were you saying about Saquon?
How do y'all feel? Do y'all think he was well deserved? Do y'all think that?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I think he deserved it.
Because a lot of people were giving a lot of props to
Mayfield.
Yeah,
I don't think Mayfield.
So Mayfield had what? I think 43 touchdowns. I didn't know he had that many touchdowns.
He's still like a record, and he didn't even start. You remember he just the first 2-3 games of the season. I think he played like a total of 9.
Yeah.
So if you if you win the MVP and you're an offensive player, you automatically get the Offensive Player of the Year?
No, I don't think so.
No, you have to be voted.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, all the years that Brady won it, did he win? You have to go back and look. I don't think it's automatic. I mean, maybe it's likely, very likely, but I don't think it's automatic.
One person had suggested that Saquon and Baker Mayfield shared.
No.
Like when Peyton did it. Peyton and was Peyton and Drew Brees?
Peyton and Drew Brees, I think,
shared
were co-MVPs, but they both threw like 50-something touchdowns that year.
Yeah.
Like it was like 50-51 or something.
Did he get rookie? He should have got a rookie. Did he not get rookie?
Who?
Saquon.
Yeah, he got rookie.
Saquon
That's what he got over Mayfield.
Okay.
He got Rookie of the Year. I mean, I think it was well deserved.
I think he ended up being number 2 in rushing.
He was. I think so. Yeah, and he was like all-purpose yards. He was number 1.
Yeah, because he was the Giants' engine.
Yeah, he was.
That was a Giants.
Yeah, I mean, I remember the first game he played the Cowboys. If they wasn't handing it to him, they were throwing it to him.
Yeah,
I mean, he wasn't as successful in that particular game, but I mean, every time he turned around, he was involved. He had his hands on the ball.
Speaking of MVP, I'm looking up here on the interwebs. You know, the very first MVP in 1972 was Larry Brown of the Washington Redskins.
What?
The very first MVP was in 1972. Larry Brown of the Washington Redskins.
Who's Larry Brown?
I don't know. I was born in '73. I don't know. He was a running back for the Washington Redskins.
Running back for Washington. He also played for Cleveland too.
Yes. Well, he won it with the Redskins. Very first. I thought I'd throw that in there.
That's about all the Redskin talk we need for this show.
Moving on. Hall of Fame. finalists were selected. Brian, you had some of the list on that.
Yeah, we got Ed Reed, Champ Bailey, Tony Gonzalez, Gil Brandt, Ty Law, Kevin Mawai, and Johnny Robinson. Congratulations.
8 people. I think that's that's not normal.
Well, like Gil Brandt is,
The legacy one.
yeah,
Okay, he's a legacy one.
and I think Kevin Mawai, he might be one of those.
No, Johnny Robinson.
Johnny Robinson. Okay,
So
okay.
six of the modern. Okay.
But Ed Reed, first time in, got in. Champ Bailey, Tony Gonzalez. Is this Ty Law's first time in?
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
But it was quite deserving. I think all of them were.
I'm surprised that Bailey got in.
Really?
No, Bailey, he out of 14 seasons in the NFL, he went to 12 Pro Bowls.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I'm just surprised because you had Ed Reed, you knew he was getting in, and I'm surprised. I guess a little bit about Ty Law. I didn't know he was up, that close. But it's just they don't like to see that many DBs get in at the same time. You don't usually see that.
But Champ was a shutdown corner.
Yeah.
He was. I'm not saying he wasn't
I mean,
deserving. I guess, but there were. I don't know. There were a couple wide receivers up. I think Marvin Harrison.
Yeah.
Isaac Bruce should have been in it.
Bruce.
Yeah,
That
I just
probably could've
didn't
went
see.
before him.
I see. I mean, when you thought of Champ, you thought of him as one of the best.
How many rings does he have? Does he have any rings?
One.
Did he get a ring with Denver?
He got one of them.
Did he? Went to,
Wait.
But you had to figure
When?
half his career.
He didn't get a
he
ring.
didn't get no ring with Denver.
Oh, no, because he wasn't playing with John Elway. And
No, he
there.
wasn't. No, he didn't get that ring. He was gone by then.
Yeah, he wasn't there when Peyton was there.
He wasn't there. He wasn't there when Peyton was there.
No.
But I mean, he was always. I mean, he played most of his season with the Redskins, so you got to kind of give him a pass on the Super Bowls.
He was only there for 5 seasons. And he went to the Pro Bowl every year with the Redskins.
Every year.
Yeah, because he was the best person on the team. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I thought I expected to see some a couple of more offensive besides Tony
Yeah,
Gonzalez.
it's just like I
You knew
don't know.
Gonzalez was
I'm
good.
always my biggest thing is like if I hear the name, does it click? I don't know.
But yeah, that's what I said, like Marvin Harris clicks for me faster.
Does it?
Yeah, than Champ Bailey.
Really? Well, yeah, I definitely think he should be in there. Was this his first year of eligibility or no? This wasn't. And he's still not in there?
Mm-mm. Yeah, I think this might be his. He's
He
been up.
didn't
He's been up
get a
couple
championship.
years. Yeah, he didn't get a ring.
Yeah, he wasn't there when Peyton was there.
So
So speaking of Hall of Fame, after the game, was the CBS analysts, they were saying Julian Edelman was a Hall of Famer.
Yeah, who started that was the insider for ESPN. The guy that does all the ESPN, Adam Schefter. He
said
started that.
Did he?
Yeah, he made a tweet something about him being a Hall of Famer, and that's where all this started. But they did a review of like his regular season compared to other wide receivers in the game. He's not even close.
But then they said, "Oh, he plays for the Patriots."
His
and
only
blah, blah, blah.
claim to fame is his playoff. Now in the playoffs, he has an argument, but the playoffs don't get you into the Hall of Fame.
Let me read you the stats of another Patriot, and when you hear his name, you never think about him being a Hall of Famer. This guy, he had 557 receptions, 6,366 yards, and 31 touchdowns, compared to Edelman, who has 499 receptions.
Go ahead, Troy Brown.
And you don't even think of he doesn't even Julian Edelman, it doesn't even stack up to Troy Brown. So
And Troy Brown played corner for them.
did he? Oh, he did something. Yeah, he did.
Played corner for them.
Yeah. They put him in the corner. He got 3 interceptions.
I think
Yeah, Edelman would just be happy with his.
Yeah, I mean, congratulations. I mean, you did a dynamite job, and you are a beast when it comes to the playoffs.
Yeah.
But I think Wes Welker should be in the Hall of Fame before Julian Edelman.
Yeah.
probably
I agree with
with
that
you.
too.
Yeah.
Definitely. What about? I mean, just think of futures because they're talking about. He's talking about retiring.
Cool.
You think Gronk is a Hall of Fame tight end?
Most definitely. I think most definitely. Without question.
Where is he on the? See, I have to look and see where he is on receiving. On the receiving yards list. Just because you dominate for a couple years,
I'm on the border with him because
I am
I don't think
that
I
makes
think
you a
having
Hall
a
of
consistent.
He's been in the league since 2010, so he got 8 years of experience.
It just seems like he's been hurt a lot of those
Yeah, I
years.
don't know. Like I mean, I want to know where he is with receptions.
He has 521 receptions for 7,861 yards, averaging 15.1 yards per reception and 79 touchdowns.
Where is he on the list all time? Where does that put him?
I have no idea.
Yeah,
I know he ain't that great.
He's a 5-time Pro Bowler. He's a 4-time All-Pro.
He's only a 5-time Pro Bowl.
I feel like he has
Yeah.
to be more.
Yeah, and you said he's been in the league 8 years.
Yes.
Now look at like Witten. Compare him to Witten. I know Witten was in longer, but
Well, I mean, I'm not arguing that. Jason Witten is definitely a.
I don't know. I think Gronk is definitely borderline.
Oh, snap! Good lord. He has Jason Witten has 1,152 receptions, 12,448 yards, and 68 touchdowns. Yeah, he's definitely all of it. Yeah, that's
he was right below Gonzalez. I don't know about Gronk.
good. I mean, he's an 11-time Pro Bowler.
I definitely don't think he's a first ballot.
Definitely wouldn't be a first ballot. But
I think he is.
you think it's a first ballot?
Yes, I don't think there's no question.
No.
He's been so dominant in those 8 years. He's been so dominant, man.
Borderline for me.
Yeah.
Okay, let's look up Antonio Gates. He's definitely a first ballot.
Gates is in there.
Yeah.
Gates is he's all the fame.
Well, I don't know. If you think Gates, then I think Marcus has a more legitimate point.
Well, let's see.
But no, okay, so Gates has 955 receptions for 11,841 yards and 116 touchdowns.
Yeah, that.
Jesus.
Yeah. See,
Jesus.
you're helping our argument a lot.
That touchdowns alone, Jesus.
That's
But he's been in the league since how long? Since 2003. So he got a lot more years than
still. I'm saying if Gronk was to retire now, though, I think he.
He's in the conversation, but
Chances.
I wouldn't put him as a snap though.
Nah, not at all.
I disagree. I think so.
So, what y'all think about the Super Bowl commercials? I mean,
Kind of disappointing this year. Not as most of the time you're looking for something different and wow. Or,
Yeah.
There's
something
only two-
Extravagant. That's definitely extravagant.
The two that was really outstanding for me that had me laughing. That was the NFL, of course, and the
Game of Thrones, what?
the Game of Thrones, that was my favorite. But
Yeah, that was my favorite too.
one of them that I thought was funny that I guess people didn't was the Eminem one. It was like one of the very first ones where they were in the back seat like fussing, and she said, "If y'all don't cut it out, I'm gonna come back there and eat you alive." And it was the Eminem candy bars. I thought that was funny.
I didn't see that one. So
The Michael Bublé was okay.
That was okay.
It was creative.
Yeah.
I didn't see that one.
Well, he was in the like the 7-Eleven, and they had the bubbly sodas.
Oh, you know what? I saw the end of that.
And then the little said, "Hey, Mr. Bubbly, can you sign my autograph?"
I will say the milk one is the most memorable.
God.
It's like you won't forget that.
Oh, that chunky milk.
I don't want to see that one again.
The chunky milk one was
What was-
terrible.
What was funny to me, I told a coworker of mine about that commercial. They said, "You know what? I've seen that commercial ever since you said something to me about it." She said, "It's disgusting."
Yeah. That commercial, I would change the channel when it comes around.
That was pretty
But
funny.
it was a little underwhelming. I mean, like, what happened to Doritos? Remember Doritos used to always come out with some funny ones. But, I mean, I guess y'all like the Game of Thrones one, but they was just, like,
Doritos-
stretching it with that.
Doritos did have the one
syrup
with Chance the Rapper and
Oh, yeah, but it wasn't.
It wasn't. Yeah, it wasn't. It
Like,
was
you remember
okay.
the one the year where the dude was like, in a time machine,
Mm-hmm.
and he's like,
Yeah.
that stuff was, like, funny, you know? And I don't know, it just didn't seem like a.
It's like there's no effort. They're
Yeah.
putting no effort into them now. It's just like they just throw it.
And I like wasted. I mean, I really had to pee. I didn't want to miss anything.
Yeah.
I was like holding it, you know, thinking I was going to miss a good commercial. So I'm really upset with y'all for messing with my bladder.
I thought the Alexa commercial was kind of funny too.
Oh, you know what? That was good. I did like that one. I did like that.
The Alexa fails, stuff that doesn't
Yeah.
work.
With the Harrison Ford and the dog.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
dog
yeah,
and
that
water
was
and
kinda
stuff.
funny. Yeah, that was kinda funny.
So. But yeah, I mean, just like I don't know, they just didn't put a whole lot of effort. They just don't anymore. Doritos, I guess they're beyond it now. I guess they feel like so. I mean, it's $5 million for a Super Bowl commercial.
Yeah, and then the Budweiser commercial was kind of
Yeah, the corn syrup thing was dumb. Like I was disappointed in them the most because I was really expecting to see some good stuff. But they made it up with the Game of Thrones because you did not see that coming at all.
Yeah.
You know, when he hit him and he knocked him off the horse, I was like, what in the world? And then as soon as I seen him walk up, I knew it was Game of Thrones. Immediately. So.
See, I don't know the character, so I didn't catch the
Oh, yeah,
reference.
you didn't even catch. Yeah, it was the scene in Game of Thrones where he crushed this dude's head.
Okay.
Like he just with his bare hands.
And Joe sounded just like a beer can too.
Yeah,
that was funny.
what was hilarious. It sounded like a beer can. So. But yeah, Bud Light. I mean, they were killing it with the Bud Night. You know,
Yeah.
every year they had great commercials and.
I mean, even through the season, they had some funny ones.
Yeah.
You know? But they-
Like I saw better ones during the season.
yeah.
Like the one where they were shooting the arrows.
Yeah.
Oh, that was good.
That should have been a Super Bowl
That
commercial.
absolutely should have been.
Yeah.
I never even knew that beer didn't. I thought everybody had to have their ingredients on the back.
Oh, the ingredients labels, yeah.
Yeah.
New to me.
I mean,
on the back of my Hennessy bottle, see if it's something on there.
I mean, does that really make a difference? Somebody gonna be in the middle of drinking and be like, "Hold on, let me see what they got in this beer."
I think most people like was kind of concerned with like maybe if it was like a light beer, how many calories it had.
Yeah, I think that's just like probably regulations that were put on.
But it's like most of us, we don't really care about what's in the
How
ingredients. We want
quickly
the
can get you
taste.
drunk.
In all honesty, yeah, but yeah, that should have been a Super Bowl commercial. Like your advertising people failed you on that one, for real. So.
And all that money that you spent too.
I mean, I didn't think it was that bad. I mean, the what was it? What did they say? Honey corn syrup or some kind of.
Yeah, the corn syrup thing. But it was
I
dumb.
mean, they took a long time.
Yeah, too long to develop.
Yeah,
a
to develop
punchline.
that. Yeah,
Mhm.
Like
get all the
the
way to chords.
like the arrows one. I mean, he walks up. You know, you hear the people screaming in the
Yeah.
background. Like, what is that going on? And he's like, "What are you doing?" You know, that was funny. So yeah, that was on them. And of course, we got some movies coming out too. You saw those trailers.
yeah,
Oh, the Avengers.
there's a little
Yeah.
excitement.
Yeah.
But I mean, and then even like the Channel 9 shows that were coming out. I mean,
Yeah, it just. I mean, then the halftime game
You mean halftime show?
show.
Halftime
yeah,
show was-
what
it
the
was
debacle.
terrible.
Oh man,
was terrible.
that was a waste of my 30 minutes.
Actually, that's when I got up and went and did.
Yeah, I didn't even watch it. I went and did something else.
You know, but I knew some Maroon 5 songs,
Yeah.
so I thought that it might have been a better show than what it was. But he was just like high pitched and a whole lot of crooning, a lot of slow songs, not a lot of dancing, not a whole lot of entertainment. The neatest thing is they had these little sparklers in the air. I think one said love and said something else, but
missed that.
it was dumb. Big Boy was good for the most part, but he was very short.
But how about what's his name?
Travis Scott.
No, not Travis Scott.
Yeah, he just
Bro,
came
you
out.
couldn't do the clean version.
You know,
Oh, he cursed?
yeah,
I'm like,
they kept cutting out half of the song.
Right, I'm like, is my TV
Yeah, like
like
3
that
seconds
going
of a
on?
verse.
I'm like, oh, he's cursing. No
Yeah.
wonder. Come on. It's like,
And then he's yelling, and that's not normally his rap style. I mean,
Oh, you familiar with Travis Scott's rap style?
yeah, a little bit.
I have no idea who that dude is.
You know some of his songs.
You know the songs.
He's on a little
He's
bit.
put it all together.
right.
But he's the one that used the auto tune. So
Yeah.
how you gonna take an auto tune rapper and put him out there live? It was terrible. It was terrible.
So, I mean, I don't know. They try so hard to get a clean act. They so worried about
Yeah.
the image that they putting out there that they just put crap.
And they
out.
know there was this
Oh my God.
meme of Janet Jackson looking all crazy. And
I
it
saw
said
that.
that what's his name?
Adam Levine.
Adam Levine got to show 2 nipples on the Super
And
Bowl.
Janet Flack.
I haven't seen
I thought that was
Yeah,
hilarious.
that was pretty funny. So I mean, I guess that's gonna about wrap up the show.
Just real quick before we do get out of here, a couple things going on in the world right now with like Foles.
Oh yeah.
How do you feel about him saying I don't want this $20 million, I'm gonna avoid it because I want to be a free agent, and now the Eagles talking about they may just franchise him so they can trade him to somebody else.
I mean, it's a good move for them. They definitely want to get some compensation for Foles. I'm gonna go on the flip and say, the Eagles could surprise everybody and trade Wentz. It's been this crazy report coming out about Wentz and his ego.
Did you hear he kind of acknowledged it?
Yeah, he kind of did. He couldn't just completely deny it.
Yeah.
So he said, "Well, yeah, I could have been a better teammate and this and that." But I mean, when you look at what Foles has done at the most important times, when he came in, it was like a total switch. And now hearing these reports, it makes you wonder: are they playing harder for Foles? you could get something for Wentz. They could trade Wentz.
Oh, you could actually get
a good haul. You get more for Wentz than you would for Foles.
Yeah, you would.
I say Wentz right now. But
So,
that's the thing is like, what are you trading away? Because how many years you going with Foles?
I mean, Foles is young.
Foles is like 27, 28. And
That's
He's
young
20,
for a
like
quarterback.
26.
he's 26.
Yeah, that's young for a
He's still.
quarterback.
He's still.
Let's
still
say
got-
he's going to play till he's 30.
He got a lot of mileage left on him.
He's got a lot of miles left on him. And I mean, you know, this is that.
No, he's 30.
Is it?
He's 30.
Older than that, yeah.
I think he's that.
But that's still a lot. That's still a lot of years to play though.
Years, but I mean, look at it like this. You know, you got right
Come
now.
on, everybody's not Tom Brady, okay?
Yeah, but
I mean, with you got at least 35, maybe 35.
And think about this too. Wentz is right at that stage. You know, that 3-year prove it. He's had his 3 years, and he hasn't looked bad. He's been pretty good. But Foles is the one who's gotten them.
I guess, but
Got them
Foles
to the
was
promise.
not in contention. I mean, in the beginning of the
Maybe
season,
not
Foles
before.
didn't look that great.
He didn't.
He
He
didn't.
didn't.
look
The
that
whole
great.
team didn't. Though.
That's true.
The whole team didn't. But I mean, it would be a bold move. Would it be crazy? Maybe.
I mean, I would prefer them to do that. I would.
It would.
Yeah, I think they should trade Wentz and keep Foles.
It would-
I absolutely would.
It
I'm
would
on
depend
board
on the
with that.
haul. Think about what a team might give up for him. You're definitely getting a first rounder. You know, this draft. You probably get one next year, and you're gonna get like a third, maybe.
At least a one.
Probably.
At least a
A
one.
1 and a 3 this year, a 1 next year, and maybe a 4. You know, that year too. So that's a big haul
Oh yeah.
for a guy who has for potential. I mean,
I mean,
Foles- to me,
again,
Foles
last
is
year
ready.
he was in the running
He
for
was.
MVP.
Yeah, he was.
He was
But Foles is doing what needs to be done.
right. He did. He's.
But is it more Foles or is it the coaching?
I don't know.
I mean, same coach both years. I mean,
No. But Foles, remember how about good Foles was for that 1 year with the Eagles under Andy Reid, and then he was garbage. Then he went to the Rams and he was garbage. Then he comes back and he plays a few games. He played, what, 4 games last year? 5 games? And he lights it up.
Critical.
This year he gets the first 2 or 3 games.
The whole team was bad.
Yeah.
yeah, the whole team was
And,
bad.
I mean, even against the Saints, he wasn't like phenomenal.
I don't
No,
know.
I just don't know how you can get rid of a guy this
Who
came
does-
through who came through you in the clutch like that.
Dude, like,
And Wentz hasn't played any postseason games.
no, he hasn't.
Hasn't played one postseason game.
And look, they were decimated. Okay, the Eagles were decimated. They were dead. They were counted out and dead. That's why they put Wentz on the bench and just said, you know, he was hurt, but they was just like, you know, whatever. Foles comes in,
Yeah,
and all these fools get lucky
enough.
enough, you know, they get into the playoffs, and then they almost made it to the championship game
Again, yep.
with Foles. Like, how do you get rid of that?
Mhm.
Like, what happens next year if Wentz gets hurt again and Foles is gone?
I mean, I guess I don't know, but I mean, is it that Foles again is that great, or is their coach like the quarterback was?
I think he's a system quarterback. I think it's the coaching.
But I think
I
it's
think
a
it is
little bit of a few things. It seems like that team played different.
I
For
just
Foles
don't
than
see
they
That's
did.
why I don't think he'll be that good if he goes someplace
I
else.
think that I agree with you.
I don't think he will be
that
either.
Now the only team that probably I may say will probably fit him the best is the Jaguars.
I think he needs to go to the Jaguars. I agree with that.
Jaguars, and I think somehow he has some type of connection. One of the coaches down there was in Philly, that's down there now. So I think the Jaguars will probably be the better fit for him.
Well, he needs to go somewhere where they're going to run the football.
Mhm.
And the Jags are definitely going to do that because Coughlin is big on that. Even though they talk
Yeah.
about Fournette.
Yeah, long as they keep for that.
Mhm.
That's the only place he really can go. If he goes to the Redskins, I mean, not to be funny, but he's going to get
Why-
destroyed.
Yeah.
No offensive line.
Yeah.
He goes to New York. There's no
New York.
offensive
But to
line.
be honest with you, I don't think the Redskins are going to have the monetary resources to
They
be able to
won't.
afford,
They got to draft a quarterback. They won't have the monetary resource. They have to draft.
or get like somebody like a Tyrod Taylor or somebody that
So
doesn't.
they're
You
coming
know,
on the cheap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, they're gonna have to draft.
Yeah. Who else did you was just Foles?
Yeah, just a little bit of folks. We talked about retirement if we thought Gronk was going to retire at the end of this year or not. What about Brady? Brady's coming back.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he's coming back.
He's
Seven.
coming back.
They're going for 7. You know they're going for 7.
Yeah, they got to get more than the Steelers.
They got
And the
more than anybody.
Steelers, yeah.
So here's my question: Who do we attribute the dynasty to? More toward Brady or more toward Belichick,
In my opinion, after
or both? Or just they need each other.
in my opinion, after watching that game, I think it's Belichick. I'm not trying to slight Brady. I mean, you got to have a good quarterback, but seeing what Belichick does, I mean, he does it year in and year out.
I'm gonna take it higher than that. I'm gonna give it a Kraft. For him to keep that organization and keep them on course like that,
But hold on, you think that that's Kraft or that's Belichick?
that's Kraft, man.
I think
That's
that's
easy when
Belichick.
you're winning. I think
I
that's
think
Belichick.
Belichick. I think Kraft
But
does what Belichick tells him to do.
Sit
But
back.
I'm saying, but he's not.
spend your
But he's
money.
not. But he's not in the way.
But that's what I'm saying. I think he just does what Belichick does. I don't think he gets any credit because he doesn't think he does anything to make it.
You don't have to be
I
in
think
the
he
way
just
to
listens to
win.
Belichick.
But he's a smart man.
He writes a check
He's a smart
and he
man.
enjoys the game.
He's a smart man.
He's a smart head, but he doesn't contribute to their success.
But he also.
I mean, he's the one. He's the one that brought it all together. He's the one that brought it all together.
No. He brought Belichick.
Yeah, any owner.
He
can
brought
do that.
Belichick on. Belichick did the rest.
But how to keep Belichick and the staff going? You don't think Kraft deserves
I
any
think
credit?
Belichick keeps that there.
Their staff
That's
is a
Belichick.
rotating door.
Yeah, and I mean, how many offensive defensive coordinators have they lost?
Right.
They just lost another one.
Right. And
Just
it's
2 years in a row.
like, whatever. No skin off our back.
But I
We'll
mean,
just move right
that's
on.
good. That's a good organization. That's a good.
It's a
But
good
it's
organization, but it's
let
Belichick.
me see how well Kraft does when Belichick retires.
Yeah, I mean, I get what you're saying. I see a level of what you're saying. He's a good owner because he does just sit back.
Right.
But he's smart enough to sit back and let the genius do his
Right.
work. Like who's the GM for the Patriots? Exactly. Exactly.
I was about to say Belichick.
Exactly. That's the thing. Like it doesn't
Yeah,
matter. It's all
Belichick
about
runs
what
that whole
Belichick does
shit.
anyway.
Belichick runs that shit.
You know, like
And to get so much out of a what was he? 106?
12th
drafted
round,
106.
yeah, back when
Something
they had
like that.
12 rounds.
And I mean, but Tom does. I mean, they talk about his dedication, his work ethic, how he does what he does at such an later on in his development of his career. You know, you got to give it to him. It's hard to separate the two. It's really difficult to separate the two. Belichick comes up with these phenomenal game plans against these other teams, but Brady does make clutch plays all the time. I mean, you see it over and over. They come down the field and score a touchdown, or they get a ball. I mean, like the year when they played the Atlanta, and he threw the ball to Edelman, and the ball's bouncing all on the ground, on people back of their legs, and Edelman just snatches it up in the air. They always get some type of magic play or something like that, man. It's just
Just think about this though. If you know why I say more Belichick, all these quarterbacks that have come behind Brady, right? And everybody thinks, oh, this is the next one. And Belichick's like, yeah, you can have him. Give me that draft pick.
But
You
I
can have him. Give me the
don't
draft
think he
pick.
wanted to let go of the last
Who?
one. Garoppolo.
Maybe
I think-
Garoppolo might be the one he wanted to hold on to, but everyone that he's let go, they ain't done nothing.
Yep.
So
True.
this guy knows what he's doing.
True.
Yeah.
He knows what he's doing. So
And I mean, so many players. The only two constants are them two.
they are, and
And
I,
I guess
I
you
feel
can
like
add
if
the
you
owner.
had to remove, if you could remove one and they would still be successful, I think Brady would be the one that you could remove and they would still have a level of success. I feel like if you removed Belichick and left Brady, I don't think you see that success. I just don't.
I have to agree with that. I mean,
Yeah.
Belichick is, I don't know.
It's hard to explain.
He's a mad genius. So like you
Yeah.
said, just the way he changed. I mean, we were talking about the Super Bowl. They were talking about that play where the wide receiver was wide open in the end zone. They said Belichick knew, like Herman was saying, Belichick knows that McVay talks to the quarterback to the last second. As soon as he did play action, the corners in the back were in single high safety. As soon as he played action, they rotated the quarters, which means that each DB had a position to protect on the field. So it took Goff a couple seconds to look and say, oh, it's not the same offense because I turn my back to you when I do this play action. Oh, it's not the same thing. What do I do? Which made him a little late on the throw. Little things like
Small
that.
stuff like that. Yeah.
I think it's a combination of both. It really would be interesting to see what one does without one would do without the other. But I do think it's probably more Belichick because I mean, how do you don't have any star wide receivers? You don't have any Hall of Famers except Brady on the team.
Shit, wrong.
Yeah, but like you say, he may not be a first rounder. I mean, Brady is definitely a first rounder. Besides that, and so I give it a little bit more credit to Belichick because he managed to keep some low key players you're not familiar with, some no name players.
Oh yeah, everybody's trash is a Patriots treasure.
Yeah.
It's probably something like 60-40, something like that, 65-35.
Yeah, I mean, they're phenomenal together, but.
All right, I'm just going to wrap up this show. Before we go, though, just want to let everybody know our next broadcast will be the draft. We will be broadcasting live from the draft again this year.
You said we're going to be broadcasting what?
Live from the draft.
Where? In
Nashville, Tennessee.
And if anybody has any good barbecue spots or restaurants we need to try while we're in Nashville,
please let us know.
Send us a text. Tweet the show, anything.
Definitely. That's going to be April 24th, I believe it is, to the 26th or 25th to the 26th, 28th, something like that. Into April. We'll have some stuff on the 25th to the 27th. Okay. Yeah, we'll have some stuff on the Facebook page, but hopefully y'all can tune in and check us out. We'll be analyzing the draft picks this year.
Sure.
We'll be doing a lot. We're going to do a lot more this year during the draft. That's the plan.
Jordan.
But great season, fellas.
Absolutely. It was a real fun ride. I really appreciate doing the show with you guys.
Yeah,
looking forward to doing it more.
Definitely looking forward to expanding our audience, and we want to get interactive. We want to get people that are watching. We want y'all to chime in. Tweet us and hit us on chat. We start to do some live interaction. Maybe we set up something we can get a little call and stuff going on. So.
Hey, enjoyed the season. I had fun doing it with you guys. I look forward to the draft and eating well. And, until next time we get back on this on the show.
Marcus?
It's been a heck of a season. I really enjoyed doing this with you guys. I'm very proud of y'all for being good at what we're doing and and sticking to it every week. I wasn't too certain how long we would stick with it, but we basically did almost every week. We did a whole season out. And next season, we're going to try to make it a little bit more fancy. Maybe throw some more graphics in there, like Herman said, some call in, get a lot more interactive. Want to try to get these views up, get these subscriptions up. Just get out there and we're doing this because we love talking about football. We're not making any money on the AdSense off of this yet. Our viewership isn't that high, but we like what we do, and I like getting together with you guys every week and pulling this out. So I'm definitely looking forward to next season. Like I said, I'm going to try to, up our game next season. A lot more graphics and stuff and, get things really popping.
All right.
You want to take us out, Marcus?
Sure. Before we leave, I want to encourage y'all to like, share, and subscribe. Hit that like button. Hit that share button. And also subscribe to the channel. Hit that bell icon so you get notified whenever we go live, which won't be until, like Herman said, April. And then next season, when the season starts.
Oh, just real quick, we're only going to do the first round, so
yeah.
Don't get crazy. We're not doing 3 days.
We'll be there for 3 days, but maybe we might do some summer.
Hopefully, we get another rematch of the 40-yard dash.
Yeah, we'll definitely have to show that.
Also, want to encourage y'all to go to sportsintel.net for some good opinion and some commentary and everything sports related. And when they're not stopping, they're 20. They cover other sports as well. So to go there and check them out, they'll be there all year. I want to once again thank you guys. Those who took time out to watch us, very humbled by that. We appreciate y'all. Definitely appreciate y'all watching. Keep going on that. Keep posting on the Facebook page. We'll be posting on that all year. Every time something comes up, we'll post on there and give our opinion and commentary and just thank you guys.
And add to that page too.
Yeah.
Feel free to add your friends if you know somebody else, a diehard football fan. Be sure to have.
And usually I end the show by saying same bat time, same bat channel next week, but that won't be happening. We'll see you in April. Peace. We out.
All right.
Peace.
Peace.